Whenever we think of goosebumps, we think of those bumps that appear all over our body during exciting situations, where adrenaline is pulsing through our veins and shivers are being sent down our spine. Or if you're like me, you're reminded of all those times in the middle of winter you're at the bus stop freezing your ass off in below zero temperatures, and after your bus arrives after being 20 minutes late, it turns out there's a substitute bus driver and they got lost 3 times in the subdivision, and after getting lost 2 more times in the subdivision, they take the most convoluted route to your high school ever, resulting in you almost being late to your first period of class. But that's just me. But going back to what I said about goosebumps covering our whole body, it should be noted there are some parts of our body that goosebumps don't appear on, such as our face. Now, in a way, this is a good thing because it would look kind of weird, but really, what is it about our face that makes it an outlier in this sort of situation? I was going to start saying the intro to Goosebumps by Travis Scott, but then I realized that Travie Boy's legal team probably would have come in here and crushed me to death with copyright strikes, and personally, I don't want to be the 9th victim, so I'll just say, why don't goosebumps appear on our face? This is the Imponderable, where we answer the questions you've never asked. So I'll start off with what causes goosebumps in the first place, which is a process called piloerection. This is where erector pili muscles located near your hair follicles contract, pushing the hair follicle and the skin around it upward. This process can result from the sympathetic nervous system reacting to things like cold temperature, intense emotions, music, skin conditions like keratosis pilaris, seizures, rigor mortis. Though to be fair, if you're looking at a corpse with rigor mortis, it's not really the first thing you're going to be looking at now, are you? If you know what I mean. It can also be a symptom of taking drugs, a symptom of withdrawal from drugs, and for some very rare special people, they can voluntarily control their goosebumps, and apparently this correlates to people that have a very high openness to experience. So, lastly, according to the primate heritage hypothesis, the reason why we experience goosebumps from hearing nails on a chalkboard is because it is acoustically similar to a primate distress call. Kinda makes me glad that whiteboards are more prominent than blackboards, because after all, white is superior to black. Anyway, if you realize by now, the reason why we don't have goosebumps on our face is because we don't have a sufficient amount of hair on our face. And speaking of primates, it should be noted they can actually experience goosebumps on their face due to having fur there. And many other mammals benefit from having goosebumps due to the fact that it makes their fur bigger and them more intimidating. Probably the most notorious example of this is the porcupine, where it can go from looking passive to making you think, oh, guess I'm gonna meet Jesus today. Meanwhile, for us humans, our goosebumps make us look like pussies. Now, some of you may have thought to yourselves, wait a minute, we do have hair on our face with mustaches, beards, and eyebrows. And that is true. However, I should reiterate that the reason why a bump occurs is because the skin around a hair follicle is being pulled together, thus creating a depression around the area of the hair follicle. And the reason why these elevated bumps appear so well on your arm is because the arm hair follicles are so spaced apart that the depressions are able to make the bumps more prominent. However, on your face, the hair follicles are so close together that if there are goosebumps, you can't see them because the skin is being pulled in so many different directions that no depressions can actually form. Or if you're like me, you have a beard where there's hair on the left, hair on the right, and no man's land in the middle where barely any hair is, almost like Moses split that bitch in half. By the way, if at any point you question why humans don't have fur on their faces anymore, I already made a video on that. So with all that being said, why don't goosebumps appear on our face? Because we already have acne. We don't need any more annoying bumps on our face.